Zach here coming at you today in Raid Shadow Legends. Welcome to the video, guys. We have the dupe system. Today I'm going to react to the video that Raid Shadow Legends just put out detailing the long-awaited dupe system. There's 3 different ways to use our duplicate champions. I have to say, I think they did a really good job here. Not without a couple concerns, which I'll get to throughout this video. But without further ado, first of all, just got to say, I never really talk about, this is lame to talk about your birthday, but it's my birthday today. So what a great way to wake up to this news of a system that honestly, it exceeded my expectations. I can't say they were super high, but if you go back and watch the video when I had chosen on a few days ago, this is way better than what we were anticipating. Anyway, guys, I fast forward through the first minute where Cirilla basically just talks about the fact that they were looking for a feature that serviced new players to the game, mid-game players, and end-game players. So that's what they were thinking of with 3 different ways to, get utility out of your duplicates. So here we go.
You all know the sparring pit in your bastion, where champions bash each other on the head to gain experience. Well, it's getting an upgrade. The new Guardian Ring will still have all the functionality of the sparring pit inside, but it will also have a bunch of new mechanics, including faction guardians, champion empowerment, and champion unbinding. You won't know what those are yet, but don't worry, I'll take you through them all. Let's start with the feature the ring is named after, Faction Guardians. The Faction Guardians tab will let you assign duplicate champions of different rarities to become Faction Guardians. This means they'll boost the stats of all champions of the same rarity in that faction. When you first visit the tab, you'll see a list of all factions. Tapping on any of the banners will bring up a new tab with the duplicate slots available.
So you guys can see this already, the Faction Guardians. Really cool, right? So you can use a dupe pair essentially to, well, she'll tell you, but I love this, right? And this is just the beginning of the dupe system. I would say this is one of the coolest, but maybe not necessarily the best out of the 3 features, but love to have this in companion with the other features.
Each slot gives a stat bonus to all champions of that faction and of that specific rarity.
And just to pause one last time here, guys, we have HP, and then it goes to attack, and then it goes to accuracy and resistance on your 3rd set of dupes per rarity per faction, right? And then you get to defense, and then you get to speed. And this affects, again, all of the champions of that particular faction and the rarity. So again, you're getting a little bit more for legendaries, a little bit less for epic, and a little bit less for rares, which is 3 speed. It's tough to tell with the the YouTube in the background, but you can see that the speed does change incrementally. Same thing with accuracy and resistance. The rest are all 10% per dupes.
It's a bit similar to Great Hall bonuses, but faction-specific instead of affinity-specific. Slots are unlocked in order, so after you get your bonus to HP, you'll unlock the slots that can get you bonus stack, which will unlock the slots for defense, and so on. For example, let's say we have 2 Raglins. You'll be able to put them both into the first legendary Bannerlord slot and unlock a 10% HP boost for all legendary Bannerlords you own, including your Raglins, both of which you can still use. If you also had a
important point there, you can still use these champions. It's not like the sparring pit where once they're in the pit, they're locked.
Pair of Barons, you can put them in the 2nd slot that was just unlocked to get an attack boost, and so on. As I mentioned, champions you make into Faction Guardians can still be used in battles. As long as you don't get rid of either champions, you'll get the bonus.
Also, worth noting here that you can have if you have trips, for example, like triple Raglins, you're going to have one that's not going to be able to have a pair. You're going to need quads in order to get 2 pairs out of them, right?
And Faction Guardians aren't only available for legendaries. Epic and rare champions can also become Faction Guardians. Since you don't lose your champions when you assign them to be Guardians, you can still use them. For new players, this means you can boost the stats of your rare and epic champions and bring them more in line with the strength of standard legendary champions that you want to build a second of a certain.
She just goes on to say, I'm going to skip to the next feature, guys. She goes on to give all the reasons why this is beneficial. Keeping your dupes, even rares or epics, can be beneficial now because you can build them in different ways. Basically trying to justify that, okay, now I'm holding on to what, 10, 20, 30, I don't know, a lot of dupes when you count in all of the factions, right? And that's the first kind of red flag that I have here. Again, not trying to be negative because overall I really, really love all of this stuff, but you're going to have a ton of dupe rares and dupe epics inside your overall champion collection as well, right? Think about it. It's going to add up per faction. Going on to the second one.
Okay, let's move on to our second option, champion empowerment. The principle is pretty simple. You select a legendary champion and feed them their duplicates to permanently empower them and give them a stat boost. You can do this up to 4 times. But keep in mind that you'll permanently lose the champions you used to empower another, so think twice before you do it. Like we said, we limited it. So while they can get a nice boost, you can't make them into unbeatable monsters. We want to make sure it won't throw game balance off. We also realize there are a few champions you can't ever get duplicates of. Lydia the Death Siren, Gumlock Skyhide, Ura's Soul Cage, and a few others. So that these powerful champions aren't left out of this feature, we've assigned other champions from their faction to act as their surrogate duplicates as far as empowering is concerned. For example, you'll be able to use Vizix to empower Lydia. Anyway, the entire list will be available in the game once the Guardian Ring goes live. Finally, we have the Champion Unbinding feature that is also exclusive.
So the second feature, guys, champion empowerment. We do not get a lot of context here. We don't know how much they're going to be empowered. I'll check the chat to see if they let us know, like the creators, and if so, I'll let you guys know at the end of this video. But I don't have any more context there, so it remains to be seen. The concern there, first of all, again, I really like the feature, and I like to even thought about champions like Lydia. I think that Vizix is a good sub. However, the downside is obviously it's going to make the richer even more super wealthy, right? So the whales of this game, like yours truly, I have, 5 or 6 copies of some legendaries. I'm going to immediately have the most powered up version. Again, we don't know how much it's going to power up those champions. We do know that there's going to be a set limit to 4 champions that we're able to kind of combine into one super champion, which was the idea that they originally kind of had, if you guys do recall. However, there's more. This is the third thing that they're adding for dupes, and I really like this one as well.
To legendary champions. In this tab, you'll be able to permanently release your legendary dupes to get a special resource called life tokens. You'll lose those dupes forever, but you get a life token for giving them their life back. There's nothing fancy about the process itself. You choose a champion, triple check them to make sure you don't need them, then release them from your service to get a life token. From there, you go to the Token Trader tab and behold several shiny legendary champions that you can get using life tokens. Different legendaries will have a different price based on their power, and you only...
Okay, so what do you guys think about this? Champion unbinding for life tokens. Now, these tokens, though, it doesn't... Okay, it just says 1. So I guess all of these champions only cost 1, and you're getting 1 token per legendary? That seems pretty insane.
You can get using life tokens. Different legendaries will have a different price based on their power, and you only get each of them from the Token Trader once. With this feature, you'll be able to get rid of unwanted duplicates and choose a champion you do want from the Token Trader list instead. We're going to be making a variety of champions available from the Token Trader, including some you might have missed out on from Champion Fusion events if you weren't lucky enough to be playing Raid back then. Folly, Molly Tankard, Fushan, Minaya, and a few others will all be available. Oh, and it's the holiday season soon, so the very special, very jolly Sir Nicholas will be coming to town as well. That's about it.
So there we go, guys. That is the dupe system. So you can unbind a champion, basically trash them for a token. You turn them into a token, and then you can buy these champions, right? We know that Sir Nick's coming. We know that Minaya, all those champions, Fushan, Molly Tankard, very cool stuff. So previous fusions are going to be focusing on. We don't know if that one screenshot was just oh, just so happened that in the random screenshot, they only cost 1 token. I think that might be the case because she did go on to say that they will be changing depending on the power, the overall strength of the legendary, which I found interesting. How are they going to gauge that as well? That remains to be seen. They did not provide us content creators with any more information than I have right here in this video. So overall, guys, looking at each of the features individually, we have the Faction Guardians. I'll rank this like an A+. I think it's a great idea. Great way to use dupes of every rarity, right? In it does help out every player in the game because we can get utility out of our epics and out of our rares. And when we're getting utility out of our epics and our rares, like Cirilla said, we can either use that in the end game for secret rooms, or maybe some end game players might just ignore the rares altogether, right? So we do have that option, but I'd like how it does kind of scale, as you progress through the game. I really like the stat boost. I like everything about it, right? The champion empowerment, again, this one, my main concern, as I told you guys, is we're going to have to wait to see how much more powerful it makes these champions. Is it going to be one of those situations where you go into the arena and if they have a fully powered up legendary, you're just absolutely toast? She did address in the video, they're going to try not to do that. They're going to try to mitigate the amount of power that you can gain. But of course, it's a very thin, needle to thread, right? Because ultimately you want to give somebody really good bang for their buck for their duplicate champions. But I will say that as long as it's something, it's better than what we have right now. So overall, I don't think they could have done much better other than just having us reroll champions or something that kind of pie in the sky that we never really thought they would be down for, So dare I say, I have not read any feedback on this. I've not watched any other videos. I'm reacting to this. I watched it once myself, and then I watched it again for you guys, recorded it. So I have not, no temperature check on the community. So sight unseen, dare I say that I actually really like these features. I think this is a great move by Plarium. And sure, there might be some fine tuning. There's a lot that remains to be seen, but overall, I'm pretty optimistic. This is better than I was expecting. What about you guys? Are you as excited as I am? Like I said, a good little B-Day present here, guys. That's going to do it for the video. Thank you for watching, and as always, take care, guys.